The cardboard box remained open on the hardwood floor, its flaps tucked back like a bird's wings. I hadn't even unpacked the bedding when my phone buzzed. I wiped my hands on my jeans and picked up without glancing at the screen. I didn't need to. Only one person called with that kind of insistence. "Hey, Calvana, heads up. We're about 2 hours out. Got 20 of us coming from my side. I told them you've got plenty of room. If you could set up the bedrooms, that'd be awesome. Oh, and food, obviously." That was it. No hesitation, no is now okay? No congrats on the new house. It felt like a delivery alert, not a conversation. I stayed quiet for a moment, letting her words sink in like ash. Then I said, "Okay." Because I've learned that's the safest response when someone isn't asking for your opinion. When the call ended, I stood still, hearing the faint groan of the new house settling. I'd only been here 3 days. My name was still fresh on the deed, sitting in a folder on the counter. My name, nobody else's. Yet somehow, Kinley had already turned my home into her family's vacation spot. I didn't pace or cry. Instead, I walked to the kitchen, opened a drawer, and pulled out a yellow legal pad. I flipped to a blank page, wrote the date at the top, and drew a line down the center. On one side, groceries, towels, garbage bags, sleeping arrangements. On the other, legal enforcement paperwork duplicates. I underlined duplicates twice. The garage held 22 chairs left by the previous owner. I'd counted them last week with a quiet thrill I hadn't felt in years. I'd pictured them filled with friends, laughter, shared meals. Not this. But they were coming whether I wanted it or not. So I chose to focus on something else, boundaries. I went to the guest room, swapped out the sheets, and hummed, not out of joy but strategy. By the time I fluffed the second pillow, I'd already made my first call. For years, I'd made do. Rooms that weren't mine. Kitchens I moved through like a guest. After Roger died, Camden had said, "Just until you're back on your feet, Mom." I believed him. I always did. But 6 years later, I was still in their basement, folding their clothes, making lunches no one thanked me for. They didn't charge rent. Kinley loved reminding me of that, but they took everything else. My time, my energy, my voice. That's why this house mattered. Not for its size, its lake view, or the fresh bathroom tiles. It was mine, paid for in full. I'd saved for it the way others save for vacations or new cars. No loans, no cosigners, no shared deed. But even before Kinley's call, I knew it wouldn't be easy. She'd always treated my belongings like community property. If I made cookies, she took them to her book club. If I bought new towels, she'd say, "Perfect, we needed those." If I sat down, she'd ask, "Can you grab my phone?" The house was new, but the pattern wasn't. So when she announced 20 people were coming, I didn't panic. I prepared. I stripped the extra beds, shook out the blankets. Kinley's youngest sister, Randa, had sensitive skin she'd complain about rough sheets. I cleaned the bathroom sink with vinegar. Someone would still leave toothpaste stains. I stacked fresh towels, knowing half would disappear by the end. I didn't do it out of fear. I did it like you'd arrange a chessboard before the final move, deliberate, calm, precise. The second page of my notepad wasn't about towels or snacks. It listed rules, guest policies, local laws, occupancy limits. I'd already called a notary.
I can't tell you the full story in this short video. If you want to see the full story, the link is given below. Click on it to watch the full story.